Alright, it's been a minute since I've done one of these things. Everything has been crazy lately, so we got a little bit to catch up on. Let's see, where do we begin? We made it to Tortuga after an encounter with some of the local pirates here who thought we were trespassing when we were being escorted by Captain Kama. So, yeah, we had to clear that up. That was a mess. Um, After a fight, if you call it a fight, we made it to the planet. We docked on a beach here, and Captain Kama introduced us to some of her associates here. Apparently, there's a whole council of pirate lords that are acting like the governing body of this planet in this city, known as Tortuga City, rightfully so. And we got dumped with one of her assistants. His name's Giacomo Vinci. He's a human guy. He's pretty cool. Invents stuff. And the robot that we ran into while we were fighting the locals was actually his invention. And apparently the hegemony took his plans and now they have it and they won't give it back. Um, Anyway, moving on from that, he took us to a tavern here. Apparently, there's a ton of taverns because, pirates are all about taverns, I guess. From what I know, anyway. And, yeah. We went to a tavern called the Obsidian, and we partook in some drinks there. I sat down and talked to Giacomo about our intentions of being here, my plans of looking for Preston, while the other three knuckleheads in our crew, Miri, Strux, and Juan, decided to have a drinking contest because the winner got a drink named after them at the tavern. So Juan ended up winning, of course, because Juan is great at everything, apparently. Not that I'm bitter. No. So, yeah, we did that. Strux passed out. Then, after they finished their little drinking contest, that led into a bar fight, a giant bar fight. And we attempted to get out of that without having any issues. The problem is that some of the local, I don't even know what to call them. Aliens, I guess you could say, for lack of a better word. They are very mischievous. They're native to this planet, and they started messing with us. One shot me in the leg with their spear. Some started messing with Miri. Miri ended up incinerating one of them. A little plant race known as the Campestri, which are native here to Tortuga, and the locals usually try to ignore because they are otherwise harmless. They were just being little shitheads that day. And it turns out, while Miri tried to help this Campestri, his name was Petalbeard, she gave him some Medigel, and he ended up drowning in it because they are tiny. So, yeah, we had that on our conscience. And when we told Giacomo later, he told us that the guy that Miri murdered was actually one of the pirate lords. Of course, because that's where our luck is always going. So, yeah, later on we had to go and talk to the council. They learned about Petalbeard, and they were rightfully very upset about that event. And basically we had to pretty much plead our case to let us be there on their planet because, we're outsiders. They make that very clear all the time. And yeah, so they have to vote on whether or not we can stay. Captain Kama, she's a Krogan pirate lord, captain of a dreadnought known as the Arcturian Blade, which is also a Slyke ship that we eventually We started off fighting and then eventually befriended, and that's why Captain Kama escorted us, because I think we impressed her. Or maybe it's more like Strux impressed her. I don't know. But she's a Krogan who had kids. She's a mother, which after the genophage, that's a pretty big deal. I've never seen a baby Krogan, and he's honestly, his name's June. He's the cutest little thing. Man, Mom would have loved to have seen that. But, yeah. So we have Captain Kama in our favor. I think we have someone else in our favor. I think. I don't remember their name exactly right now. I'm drawing a blank. But yeah, the guy that boarded our ship and attacked our crew, Captain Bolton, he's a Batarian. He hates us with every fiber of his being, so he's definitely going to vote against us. Yeah, go figure. And then there's another human Captain Lord. Again, I'm blanking on his name right this second, but I think he's 50-50 on us right now. I don't think we've impressed him yet. I don't know. I don't know that he's on our side. Yeah, and then once they found out about that, I believe it was Captain Bolton that declared that some justice had to be paid for Petalbeer's death. Even though apparently the Campestri only live up to like a year, and he was probably gonna go soon anyway, as terrible as that might sound. But no, he was very persistent because he just hates us. He just really does not like our crew. So, they did a pirate thing, and he wanted to duel one of us. Mind you, this was right after the bar fight when the others had their drinks. So I was the only one who didn't drink. So I was the only one who was sober and coherent, mostly. So with that, combined with the fact that I am trained with the sword, I pretty much took it upon myself to accept that duel. Yeah, it was quite the fight. I mean, there was a big field, if you could call it that. And we were going back and forth. We both got some pretty good hits in on each other. A lot of missing, a lot of dodging, a lot of taunting. Yeah, so after that, I mean, I fucked him up, not to brag or anything. I fucked him up pretty good. Even in my fucked up state, he was fucked up way more than I was. So, thanks, Alliance Training. Yeah, eventually, he wanted to go all the way. He said that it, was to the death. He was very much prepared to die. And none of us wanted that. So after a lot of back and forth between us, my crew and the Captain Lords, we eventually were able to convince him to call it, and it became a draw. But anyone who was there could clearly see that I was probably, if there was a winner, it was me. But hey, look, bragging, I gotta take the little wins. Okay? Anyway, moving on from that, I was still pretty badly hurt, so I had Miri help me back to the Stormbreaker. I think that impressed most of them, the fact how well I did, all things considered. And yeah, went back to the Stormbreaker. It was at night, so we're like, okay, let's go back to the Stormbreaker, get some rest, that kind of thing, because they wanted to talk to us the next day and make a decision. I assumed, make a final decision about us. So we came back to the Stormbreaker. We had some food, went to bed. I couldn't sleep because I had a dream about, well, I dreamt I was laying in bed and I looked up and I was staring at the ceiling, and then it turned into stars. And then I looked over and I think it was my mom, but it wasn't my mom because when she talked, it was a completely different voice, basically telling me that I was close and that when I found him, I would find them. I tried to ask who it was that was talking to me. I didn't really get a clear answer on that, really. So, yeah. And I swear I saw Preston in my dream. So I called out to him, and at first I don't think I got a response. But then I mentioned our dad. I said that Dad and I missed him, and right before the dream ended, he said, he just went, huh? So, I don't know if that was some weird mindfuckery that, I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know if Preston and I actually share dreams, if he could actually, like, hear me, if that was actually him, wherever the hell he is right now. But, given our biotic aptitude and the fact that we're twins and all that good stuff, I wouldn't put it past us to have some kind of weird shared dream shit going on. Oh yeah, another thing I almost forgot during the duel, I heard a voice while I was dueling tell me to focus, and that voice was the same voice I heard in my dream. So, yeah. I have no idea what the hell that could be. I don't know if it has to do with my biotics or what, but it probably does. It probably does. I don't understand any of this right now. But tried to talk to Julian about it. I don't think he really knew. We're just going to kind of try and keep an eye on it and wait and see if anything comes of it. I haven't had a chance to tell him about this dream yet, the one I just explained with Preston. So next time I get a minute with him, I'm definitely going to tell him about that, see what he thinks. If that's even a thing that biotics can do. But all I know is that Preston's very powerful, and he can probably do a lot of crazy things that I don't know about. So, Julian can heal. He healed my leg, which I didn't know that was a thing that biotics could do. Unless it's like a very specialized thing, which I don't know. But yeah, we were sleeping. I had that dream, couldn't sleep really that well. And then I started hearing screaming outside. So I went to the window and saw some campestry scurrying out of the ocean because like I said, the Stormbreaker is docked on the beach here. And there is some kind of sea monster, so obviously I had to wake everyone else up. And we had to go out there and fight it. And it had some weird mindfuckery shit going on. It got Juan and Miri for a bit. Yeah, I mean, we were doing some pretty decent damage on it alone. And then Slyke's crew, the other pirates, started to show up and started to help. And how do I phrase this? It was big, it was tough. It was very, what's the word? It had a lot of constitution. And, Miri and I got some good hits. I got it primed with the lightning. with my overload, and she incinerated it. Big explosion, which I'm sure did a good amount of damage. And then Strux had the genius idea of going back to the Stormbreaker, going to the guns, and shooting it with the guns. Which, if you know our ship and you know our guns, they are massive, and they do a shit ton of damage. So, of course, that killed it. Pretty much blew it up into the smithereens in the ocean. And the force was so big, the force of the explosion was so big, it threw all of us back. Pretty sure I got some seaweed and a starfish in my hair. Took some damage. But it was dead. That's what we wanted to do. And, yeah. It was impressive. I think the rest of the city, the Tortuga citizens, were very impressed with it. Apparently it was a monster that was very problematic for them. So the fact that we killed it, I think, gave us some brownie points. Luckily, yes. Yeah. Definitely gave us some brownie points. I think put us in some good graces with people. And, yeah, so we ended up, after that, going shopping. We traded some of the monster meat with a local butcher, and Rourke wants to make a meal out of that meat, so he's gonna do that. And what else we do? We got some armor upgrades. We got some. I got myself an entire pirate outfit, a hat, coat, the whole shebang. I got Dad a little handmade compass from here that I'm going to give to him next time I see him. And then I got Preston also a pirate hat because we were those kids who grew up on pirate movies back home. So, and played with fake swords and said dumb pirate things when we were kids. So I thought, maybe that could just be a good reminder of better times. And when we find him, because we will find him, it could help. It could help bring him back to who he is, who I know he is. Yeah, so did that. Another thing I just remembered about the monster is that apparently it was protecting the Void Mother, which is like the dark side of the planet, and potentially where Preston got shot down, because apparently there was another ship that was here that was shot down into it because they were trespassing. It's a whole thing. Probably Preston, because he was supposed to come here. And this place, I'm pretty sure, this whole abyss area is full of Ezo, and who knows what the hell he was sent here to do. Thanks, Shadowstar. Keenan, you're very helpful. And then because your mother had all the details, but whatever. We'll figure it out. And, yeah. After we did all of our shopping, we swung by Giacomo's workshop, the inventor, and visited him and talked to him about what happened. And we were told that we were supposed to meet with the council later today, which we haven't done yet. We're going to soon. But yeah, basically Giacomo, he told us that he's working on a submarine for our crew. For what purpose, I don't know, but he has plans for it, and asked if we had any people who could help him realize it, which Amobi and Carly jumped on pretty quickly. They were both very excited. So they're working on him with that. I assume it'll probably have something to do with the Void Mother, assuming we can get permission to actually go and check it out, because apparently it's a very sacred place to everyone here. And tradition is not to be messed with when you're dealing with pirates. So, Yeah. Uh, oh, while we were shopping, I don't know how, but pizza was brought up, and I told the others about how my mom used to make the best homemade pizza ever. She was Italian, so, that's where pizza thrives back on Earth. So, yeah, mom used to make Preston and I the best damn pizza ever. And I haven't had it since we lost her. So, um, I'm sure if I asked Dad, I could probably get the recipe from him. And, yeah, I promised my crew I would make it for them because I think they would really like it. And it would be a chance for me to share a piece of my mom with them. I don't know if could make it as well as she did, but I could certainly try. And I think Rourke would have a good time too, figuring that out. Um, so yeah. Um, Apparently there's a place in the Citadel, according to I think it was a Moby, that makes some really damn good pizza. So I need to like exceed that, which I don't think will be a problem, personally, but we'll see. So next time we're not chasing my brother or getting shot at or getting arrested, I think we're gonna make a stop to get ingredients and hopefully get to do that and have some much needed R&R. So yeah, um, that's pretty much it. We've been all over the place, really. And this place, honestly, it's it's really fucking cool. If you have told little Piper that she would have grown up to become a starship navigator and would have ended up chasing her brother to a literal pirate planet, she wouldn't have believed it. But here we are. And I think she would probably think it's pretty cool. And, when we visited Giacomo, he mentioned something about building a dock, like a real dock for our ship. Like, he was like, like we were going to stay or we were going to be here for a while. And I had to remind him that we were just here for a little bit, which I think he seemed a little bummed about. But, yeah, I told him we'd come back. Well, I would come back at least with my dad and Preston once we're together again. Because I think they'd both get a pretty good kick out of it. And, yeah, I mentioned how impressive his workshop was and how I've never seen anything like it and, all that good stuff. And, how I would want a place like it except for, like, stargazing. Because, navigator, stars, dorky shit. But, yeah, he's like, we could build a cereal? I think that's what it was called. So, I kind of joked with him. I said if he could do that, I would totally come back and use it. But I don't know how serious he was about it. Anyway, yeah, so we have to meet with the council, the Pirate Lord Council, at some point today still. And, hopefully after everything that we did, as far as, like, the monster and the ocean went, that gave us some good, brownie points. Maybe put more into our favor, which, if it was really a problem, I don't see why it wouldn't. But that remains to be seen. And you never know with our crew. We get ourselves into some serious shit that it's not always easy to get out of. But, yeah, we're, back on the ship now. Just kind of relaxing. I don't know when we're going to leave to go meet the council, but I'm sure it'll be soon. And, Yeah, I'm just hoping that that meeting goes better than the first, and that we get permission to go to the Void Mother, and I hope to God that I can find Preston there and that he's okay. Because apparently people go there to disappear, like for good. So that's got me a little bit nervous, if I'm being completely honest. So I think I'm gonna wrap this up. I should probably go get ready, see what the others are up to, make sure they're not breaking anything, because we're very good at that. I just wanted to get this log done while we have some downtime. Oh, that reminds me, I need to check on some emails too. Maybe try to send Dad an email, and then Dr. Albion, check in on Chris, see how he's doing. Been thinking about him lately. So, yeah. I will try and check in sooner. So, I don't know when that will be, but we'll see. But anyway, until then, Orion out.